Tonight we are looking at Tenchi. Looks pretty simple. It's move out of the way, kick him in the groin, hit him in the face. That's where we're gonna start. So that first that right's gonna come in, I'm moving off the side. The second one's coming in, I'm moving in here, kick and down. Moving side, 1, 2, kick, and down. Okay, that's where we're gonna start. In my opinion, and from everything I've been taught and seen, this isn't taught as a feint. We already have Koto Ryu katas that have this be a feint. All right, we absolutely do. So, but that being said, some people will insist on teaching it as a feint. So we'll look at it as a feint just for a couple times on why it actually is. Okay, so remember our mat here. Same setup. That first one's coming in here. As I'm shifting back in this, I'm gonna actually for a second drop my hands just for a brief second. This comes in like, whoa. And so then as these come up, back up again, Matt's like, oh, there they are. Boom, that's why that comes in. This second move on this is kind of interesting. So the first one's coming in, I'm here. Now, let's get on a line, Adam. If you and I can get on a line, please, that'd be great. So if I go straight back, Adam's second punch is gonna be on that same line. And if I shifted forward on that line, this isn't good for me, right? But if I happen to be out here, Adam's punch is now coming this way. Do we agree? Yes. Off that line. And if I shift, I'm out of the way. Now, am I completely out of the way? No. But I now have an aspect where this helps me. All right, I can actually get rid of a step by doing that. So as that comes in, I'm gonna just take a little extra step as I do that shift, and I'm gonna be here, up into that. So I'm doing a couple things. I'm setting myself up. So I want you guys, as you do this, pause after that first one here. Don't be shooting out here. Can you be off here, inside, and open up at an angle and lean back? Because every point that I lean back opens that by degrees. So then when Adam punches, I can just shift in here, have that no problem. All right, I want that precision in that. You need the distance, okay? Now I'm not gonna advise this. This is more just to show you what I'm talking about. Before he throws that right in here, I'm a ways and I'm out, right? So I'm back and I'm over to make Matt have that angle. Now I have the luxury of the fact that he now has to cover said distance, and now I can go over here and I can kick, right? I can get to the same angle without the distance. So if Matt comes out with a right, I can just move over here. Notice I'm not even close to as far back. Now Matt has to cover less space, right? We agree with that, and so I gotta be a little more efficient, but I can still just shift my hips, come, and be right here. Come in. All right, so I can still cut the same line. I can still have the same weight shift. I can still have the same move. So Matt comes in 1, Jesus, Matt, Weiss. And I can still come in. Okay, I can still utilize. I'm just utilizing in a more compressed standpoint because I got a wall. I can't go back that far. Okay, so if this comes in, moderate speed, it won't still be there. Right, pick it up. Yeah, I can still utilize that. You still utilize that angle. So we're not gonna go quite that fast. It's up to you if you want to, depends your class. So as this comes in, I'm gonna shoot right off to the side, right? So I'm drawing that punch now out on this line. I'm going, whoa. Notice I'm still over here. I'm still weighted over here. I still have that weight stability. This comes back, I'm gonna do the same move. And then go, okay? We're gonna make sense? Yep. So we're gonna cut it a little closer, but it actually, because of the efficiency, the time won't be that big a deal. But notice how like the line of my hands, like right head, right in line with him, right? As he comes in with that second one, it's staying right there on that line, right? Do you see how that is happening? I'm never coming off and trying to get back on, like, that's the line. I'm staying behind this cover the whole time, and as I'm shifting, my hands are just replacing myself. So I come in. Do you guys see how you're doing that?
Yes, sir.
No, you don't. Okay, good. So you do. Pay attention now. Just and watch it. Just observe. As this is coming in, you guys are doing what? As this is coming, it's staying there. You're kind of keeping that line. You're recentering yourself around it as you're shifting. All right, pay attention. Watch yourself as you do it this time. Okay, just acknowledge it. Do you guys all feel the feeling? See what I'm talking about? Do you guys see how you're staying centered on that? So now, can you actually do the first one with that same feeling? Yep. Right? That recentering. That first one comes out here. Boom. I'm centered. I'm centered. Okay. Can you actually now? I'm asking you to stretch it back out with that feeling because it's still there. Ground version. He's coming in. 1. He's coming in. 2. Boom. Okay. Obviously, we can go right to arm bar, same thing, but basically, we're looking at the kata. We can look at the same exact thing. He goes with this right. 1. Second one. 2. Low kick. Hammer. Kick. All right. Understand? Well, Arden, how are you? First one comes in. Jeez, my God. Second one comes in. Oh my God. Okay. I can still hit him if I want to, but this is right there. Might as well use it. I'm gonna be company a little tighter too, because I think if I went like this, Arden's gonna know that this is in play, right? And he's not gonna allow it. I mean, I just don't think he's gonna throw another punch on the line of that. He's gonna realize that this is gonna happen because maybe this came out here, and I just, oh my God, the second one's coming in. Oh my God. So what I do want you to do on this one, this comes out. Jeez, here. I want this here to cover this hand. Okay, because I don't have this one available. So as it comes back, I'm still doing that shift, leading that up. Boom. And down. Okay, I don't want a lot of extraneous movement. I got that in one step. I would like to see that done here, right? So I kind of had that same feeling. But ultimately, if you just look what this arm was, it's kind of here. So I still have the same feeling. This one just happened to be up here. So I still have that same feeling that I can work with that centering and that weight shift. So now all you're doing is you're kind of basically just moving that one arm up here. So as this comes in, I can keep that feeling. Hop. Okay. So you guys are still doing it. So now pay attention, acknowledge that. That's going to come in handy in a minute. So if I have a cane, there's probably a reason I have a cane, right? Other than just like, haha. You know, if I have a cane, it's probably a reason, like maybe like, I don't know, you rip your Achilles off for some stupid reason, you know? So I'm not nimble enough to do this. So as this comes in, it's like, jeez, like why? It's like, because, oh my God, like, what are you doing, you young little whippersnapper? All right, kind of thing. All right, so can you keep this tight, even tighter than the one we were trying to keep tight before? So the question at the beginning of class was, why would you, you guys have seen most of the Koto Ryu Shodan katas now. This doesn't look too dissimilar than some of the other ones. So the question is like, why? Why do you have so many katas that look similar? You know, and the answer could be, are they trying to reinforce training? Yes. Are there slight nuances? Yes. Could you teach them differently? All the same. You could teach every single one of these the same. You could roll like half of these in and almost teach them as the same exact thing. Are there some hidden lessons and stuff like that? Yeah, all those answers are kind of true in my mind, okay? What I like with this kata, is the fact that this second step is very kind of tight. There's a reason that you're kind of being able to move over to there. It doesn't look like it could happen. It doesn't look like a diagonal step across the punch could really happen. But if you're baiting it out to here, then it's really not that bad. All right, we'll also see the same thing with Ranyo from Gyokuru. So put the Hanbos up. So that question is like, well, can we use this more than just in a punch scenario? And the answer is yes. So what if we're in grappling? All right, what if we're grappling and my weight's over, he's got me pushed back over here, right? So pretty similar. Could I weight shift over? Yes. Could I weight shift and change my line 90 degrees? Yes. Could I weight shift and actually turn myself this way? I absolutely can. I can do all that. Okay, so now we're gonna basically do that. So I'm here, this guy's push. I'm actually gonna push back that weight shift that we're doing, right? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Yeah. But as I do that, I'm actually gonna turn back towards Adam. Okay. Now it won't be exactly the same as what you were able to accomplish over here, just because I have someone holding on to me. But the premise of the feeling for me is the same. I've got to push here. I'm going to shift back, but as I shift back, I'm going to look that way. Weird, isn't it?
It is weird on a lot of ways.
Okay. Yeah, I'm over there, and I'll tell you why it works later. Okay, because there's differences in your center of gravity, my center of gravity, my rotation, where you're expecting me to be. Talking about Adam, because Adam's like, oh, I'm talking about.
Yeah, I definitely feel it.
If we just work here, one, he's gonna be pushed over here. If I can just work the weight shift. All right, actually, let's start there. All right, can you from this position, because it's gonna feel like you're running into a brick wall, but can you, with your hips, shift your weight and get them going back like that? All right, if you can't do that, the second part isn't there. Notice I'm not putting my hand on his arm. He actually has me pushed forward. I'm just shifting my weight and taking it back from here to one and two. Can I get that? All right, let's try that first, because that may seem like a sticking point, and then we'll go into the rest. I'm actually gonna do.
Oh, jeez. I actually just want to go down and protect my
Right. It doesn't make sense, does it?
because it twists.
Right. Because I'm going back. You're expecting to go back that way, and you're expecting me to stay in front of you.
Especially because I'm stiff on
Because well, you're holding on as I'm pushing back, but as I rotate myself, it's now on the other side of you. And then I can just come in. This I'm simulating that first position here, right? So I want you to feel like, oh, boom! Now I got somebody pressed to the Adam, he's just pressing down on you. Okay, we'll go this. Yeah, it's just so similar. Oh, this is that position, right? Now before I didn't have anybody touching me, so I could actually go in here and do that no problem. Now, can I move from there? Yes, you can. Actually, a lot easier than you think you can. Okay, and then we can go from there. Okay, just do the same side, just because that's the side we're working on, right? He pushes me this side. Okay, so we came back. We'll work our way up to the whole twirly-twirly thing in a second, okay? Just so we can kind of piece it together a little bit more. I'm going to shift back, right? And change my position to here. Right? That's essentially what we did. Right? One, so now I'm here. All right? And then I'm just here, and then we can just do whatever you want. Okay. All right, but basically recreating this with a human attached to me. Okay? Three first ones, right? We were staying centered, but it was we were staying centered more on kind of a parallel line. Do we understand? Right? This, I mean, we're pretty much on kind of on. I'm tilted out to draw this a little bit more, but for the most part, we're still pretty straight onto each other. But then, as that second one comes in and I shift, I get really perpendicular to him. Right? And that transition is what matters. That perpendicular to parallel to perpendicular transition. Here, this is very obviously. Very, very parallel. We're very much on the same track. But as I push back, I'm actually going to do that same perpendicular transition there in the end. Okay, so that I can okay. Right, makes sense. Yeah. All right. So that's the key, is that precipice is which I come back and then switch this from being totally parallel to totally perpendicular. In here. All right, makes sense? So
Realigning.
this is here. As this starts pushing, there's some tension here, right?
Right.
But I can get rid of that tension if I change my relationship to him. Okay?
Yeah, and you keep all the structure.
It's like if you and I just had hands,
Yeah.
and I was just pushing you back like this, but all of a sudden I just decided to do this,
You have some smushed up.
right? Amate. So this is a lot of feeling in here. So I'm going to get myself out of here. I'm going to kind of put my hands in place. This is kind of what's happening, right? But it's just here. Understand? So at some point in time, we could play this game all day. But imagine if during this game, as I push back, I decide to go this way. What that does to Lauren, right? That's what I'm doing. Right? So as I push back on his hands, I decide to, at one point in time, go up there. You see it? You see it? You see his hand? Watch his hands. Yeah. And I can walk right in. This is the door. Open. All right. Okay. And then me opening up like that just stops all his momentum. It just plays right to the side and I can walk right in. You see it? Yep. I'm just actually going to shift position and I'm going to put that over there. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay? Try that for a second. Hey. No, I'm not moving Adam. I'm not taking Adam and putting Adam over here. I'm moving me to the other side of Adam. I'm just changing spots with him. Right? We're literally occupying the same space. So I'm not taking him and pulling him. I can't do that. But I have resistance here. He's pushing into me. All right, I can let that go. I can pull onto that as far as I can go and I can just go over here. Right? I mean, push, front resistance, it's kind of hard. All right. It's like two things that have to keep balance. Okay? So you're not trying to push, I'm not doing it. I'm pulling him as much as I'm going forward at the same time. So what happens to be that we just switch places.
That's why I can hold on as hard as I want.
He can hold it as hard as he wants because his hands, watch, his hands are going to be in roughly the same spot in the end. Aren't they? Yeah. His hands haven't moved one bit. But I can move them. Okay? Yeah, hold on. Try to stop it. It's very hard.
Try to white knuckle it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what we're doing. I'm not pulling him. I'm actually literally just switching places with him. Okay? And I'm moving. All right, here. Right? I'm holding off on him as much as he's pushing on to me. Right? Yep. And he's doing the same thing to me. So I'm just going to let that go. Okay. That ball goes over there. Now I'm holding him back as much as he's holding me back. And then I just switch my spot. Okay. Okay, and then we just basically try not to clock heads on the way through. Right? But I mean, like he's pushing and being braced at the same time with this hand.
Yeah.
Aren't you? Mm-hmm. Right? So then I'm going to just release that. And now I have it over here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. On the other side of Matt, as I do that thing, I'm just going to turn as I do it. Right?
Yes.
I'm just not going to wind up in the same, but it's the same feeling.
Never did it. He showed it. It's really good. So,
There we go. Okay, but it's the same feeling. I just add a rotation at the end. You change spots with me and just rotate it. I'm out. Right?
They don't go forward.
Because you think it would be, I need to pull him and push him up. I can't do that. I can't do that, but I can change position with him.
So I'm going.
I can change position and look this way, and then I'm right in.
I love the sweep.
It doesn't. It looks like it's something totally different, but it's really just two opposing forces fleeing by each other. Here, here. All right. So we started the night looking at, what does it mean to have this weight shift in terms of getting me out of the way, right? In terms of this Tenchi, and now we've kind of worked it up to like, okay, I'm here. He's pushing me. I'm pushing him, and I'm going to have that weight shift. But I'm going to release him because him and I are almost at a stalemate, pushing each other, right? I'm holding him off as much as I'm pushing him. I'm just going to release that and I'm going to move this way. Okay, and we're going to switch spots basically. And so we know that we can do that. So as I do that, as I let that go, I'm just going to look at Lauren as I do it. And then I'm going to walk right here. Okay? So Matt's doing all the work. I'm not doing really any, because you imagine from this position, taking somebody and it's incredibly difficult. But if I can just shift my weight, turn, then I'm good. Okay? So this is kind of how we can take this aspect of using something defensive that we're doing and how can we actually put it into a totally different scenario. I'm gonna shift back, but I'm gonna let it go. And I'm gonna let it go and actually keep going. Okay?
Yeah.
There.
Okay, so
We're both doing the same thing. I just turn this way in the end.
Looks like it's really good at put that for you to me as well.
It's not a time.
Yes, that's why I'm teaching this. It could be taught to all.
I'm just happy. That's
So realistically, I shouldn't have
Resist.
I gotta get told.
No. Bad idea. So Mate, so this weight shift, like Adam said, I think we can put this to a lot of stuff. Yes, we can put this to a lot of things. So if he comes out here, because we're always going to encounter in a position where we have resistance, right? Always, like right here, tons of resistance. But if we can learn to work around it, change our position, change our angling, it works very easily. Tons of resistance. Oh. Right up through there. Wrist, yep, forward punch. Here, resist. I'm just gonna shift my weight and change. It's all the same stuff. It's the same premise of how can you use your weight shift? How can you find that little, because there's a little tiny void that's gonna happen. It's this little tiny transition that's gonna happen right now. Right? You all felt it when you did the original thing, right? Where we're both kind of moving at the same time, but sighting each other in, right? So that's what this is here. Boom. There's here. I need to create that void and then re-sight him back in. Okay. So yes, we can take this principle and put it everywhere. Okay. All right, we can take it all the way from heaven all the way to earth and back again. I don't know if that's why they call it the kata or not.